Mute mic.
Stay tuned.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Raw Live. I am Frankie J, your host, and with me is the one and only T.O. T.O. is on, and as always, he's not in the middle of the camera, which drives me nuts. But welcome, T.O. And what a day we had yesterday. It was pretty cool. I got out on the motorcycle all day and rode with my friend. We stopped by T.O.'s house to drive him nuts. But not to divert right away, make sure everyone stays till the end of the show. I got a couple announcements to make, and I want to first and foremost thank everybody that's been sending in all these questions via direct message or whatever. It's great. We're getting all this response on shows we've done or shows people want to hear, et cetera, et cetera. We do appreciate everyone out there, people live here in the audience, outside the audience on YouTube or wherever else we are being broadcast. So real quick, Tio, I'll turn it over to you because you had made mention that you had a couple things that you wanted to go over. So it's all on you.
Well, happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. Federal holiday today. Hope everybody had a good day. Nice day with your family. Yesterday as well. It's been nice here in Buffalo. But June 18th, a lot of things happened in June 18th. You remember Amelia Earhart, don't you?
Yes.
Yes,
She flew around the world.
She did. And on this date, she became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, which was pretty
awesome.
cool.
That's a good
Yeah,
fact.
there's first checkered cab was made. Checkered
Really?
cabs. Yep. That was in
Wow.
1923
Wow.
in Kalamazoo. But
Kalamazoo.
yeah, there's remember Sally Ride?
Right.
I don't think it's the same one.
I
don't
it
think
sounds
it's the
like the
same
same one. It's the same one.
But she was the first woman to travel to space. 1983.
First woman to travel to space, eh?
Yep.
That was in the 80s, right?
1983. That's why I don't think
Yeah.
Ride Sally Ride was because of her, because that was from the 60s.
There was some songs written specifically for
yeah.
the first Men on the Moon, if you recall,
Yeah.
because it took 4.5 days to get to the moon. So there was some music artists out there that actually took the time to write songs for these guys to listen to while they were on their way to space. Pretty neat.
Speaking of songs, born on June 18th, 1942 in Liverpool, England. Guess who?
Liverpool, England. I can't
Paul
think.
McCartney.
Oh, I knew that. I was just seeing
Yep.
if you knew. I was just seeing if you knew.
Well, I know. But, yeah, Little Yellow Submarine, Beatles, Paul McCartney. I don't know. What's your favorite Beatles song?
Unfortunately, my favorite Beatles song happens to be the longest song in American history or world history is Hey Jude. And the reason I like that song is the first and really only time I made an attempt to be a singer was in chorus in middle school, and our music teacher, Mr. Franzak, I'll never forget him. He used to play Hot Balls of Fire on the piano, and he was awesome. And you know, we had to do Hey Jude, and what a long ass song. Holy cannoli. But yeah, Hey Jude, that's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I have one. Can't we all just get along? Wasn't there one like that?
Probably.
Yeah, something like that. But I don't know.
I'm trying to find. There was some news that there was back. I'm trying to think of the year, but everybody knows, even if you don't watch the NFL football, there's people know that when people score a touchdown, a lot of people spike the ball.
Gronk.
And the guy that is known for spiking the ball for the first time in the NFL, his name is Homer Jones.
Ooh.
They consider him the inventor of the TD spike.
Wow, nice. Also, the first baseball game was played on this date in history.
Really?
Yes.
On this day in history, the first football game?
Baseball game. I believe
Are
it was
you talking
18
like the first
official
legitimate baseball game?
Yep, the first official Major League Baseball game was played. I believe it was 1898, but don't quote me on that. But I believe that was the date.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool things going on. What else is in the news? What's
I
been bothering you?
well, I do want to try to close a chapter on one thing,
Uh-oh.
and only because it's all over social media. I wanted to make clear on this whole thing when I was called a trans hater. It's still kind of bothering me because I'm not a trans hater. I'm not a friggin' trans hater, okay? What bothers me, and I think there's going to be a lot of people, and if anybody has any input or any, opinion on this, please feel free to reach out to the show. Um, any way you can on here through the React messaging or DM us on the side. I don't have a problem with people the way they want to live or how they want to identify, if they want to be transgender or whatever. I don't care. I have my way of living. Where I have a problem with it, and I think where millions and millions and millions of other people have a freaking problem with it, is this being shoved down our throat, in our face. And where it really started to heat me up is when they make these pro sports athletes wear jerseys that represent, the pride. And
Mhm.
listen, they're human beings too, and because they're being paid to play a sport on a professional team, they have to go against their beliefs in some cases. Like, what was his name? Rand or Van Riemsdyk, the goalie, he
Mhm.
refused to wear the jersey because he's a Christian man, and you know. But I think that's my problem, and I'm just gonna say, to wrap it up on that whole topic, it bothers me when it's getting to the level of it being programmed into children and where it's
Mhm.
being shoved down my throat. And I saw an interview on one of these social media platforms where a transgender woman was interviewing a regular straight man. I identify as a straight white man. And she asked him, "How do you identify?" And he said, "I identify as a single white man. I'm a man." And she said, "Well, what if I think that you're a woman? What if I," he goes, "Well, that would be assuming." And she's like, "That's not assuming. I think that you look and identify as a female." And he goes, "How do you identify?" And she goes, "I identify as a binary, blah, 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 whatever." And basically, what I guess the moral of the story is this: I don't like being told what I should respect and accept and appreciate when the words that come out of my mouth and my feelings or my opinions are not respected. It's too
Mm.
lopsided, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. And if anybody thinks I am, then here I am. Call me out.
Yeah, I
I
thought.
think that's the bullshit that I don't like. It's being shoved down everyone's throat, and now it's being they're using children as another exploitation tool, if you will, to get their message out.
Yeah.
Your message is loud and clear. Everybody knows you want to be weirdos. Okay, great, good. Live your life, be
Well,
happy, but let me live mine in peace.
um, yeah, I thought you made it quite clear through many of these episodes that that was your stance, and you didn't. We don't hate anyone or any group or anything like that, but we do try to rely on the facts here and have a normal, good discussion. And again, if you have a problem, come on, talk to us. You don't send hateful stuff or whatever without even giving communication a chance. That's all we ask here on this show. That's all anyone can ask in life. Give me a chance, and if you don't agree, we can agree to disagree. That's fine. I'm not into banning anything or anything like that, and
Yeah,
everyone knows that. If you want to be happy changing the sex of um, with which you were made and created, go by all means, go ahead.
yeah.
But
Live
like
your
you said,
life.
yeah, when it comes to the children and grooming these kids and throwing it in their face and telling
Hmm.
them that they're because they play with dolls at the age of 8 that the boy is really a girl and all this weird. That's weird to me. Okay, people are
Well,
allowed to
again,
have traits. Men are allowed to have female traits. It's been going on forever. But later in life, if you feel the need and you don't feel like you're yourself, do whatever you want to yourself. But the children and that matter, and I don't blame trans athletes as much as I used to anymore. We need a change in the rules. That's all. We
yeah.
need we need to change the rules because it's against the rules. You can't have a
Well, it's
biological
it's it's
male.
against science too. Like,
Yeah.
they design, even in the military. Let's go to the military. They have it to where women have different expectations than that of a man because anatomically they are built different, bone
Yes.
structure, density, the whole nine. And so a woman won't have to jump over obstacle.
9-12 feet, yeah, instead of
Exactly.
yes,
You know what I'm saying.
sure.
And I think anybody out there listening
You don't
understands.
have to do 500 sit-ups or compared to
Correct.
100 or whatever.
These
Yeah.
were not written. These rules were not put in place for no reason. They were put in place because anatomically, scientifically, a woman is different than a man. Like
Mhm.
that's where I get lost here in the whole shuffle. Okay, I don't respect people who don't respect me. I respect people's opinions. I am trying my best to understand all of this still. I'm
Good luck.
as overwhelmed with it as the youth, okay? And for me, if you want me to respect your opinion and appreciate your opinion and your lifestyle and way of living, appreciate mine. I don't want to shove down my throat. But that I wanted to wrap it up on that because I've been hung up on it a little bit and I worry about the children. But anyways, in other news, Tio,
Yeah.
you had mentioned we had a couple questions that you wanted to
We
bring up
did.
here.
Hold on,
the
let me
air
grab
that
these
were
questions.
emailed to us. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of them, and I want to take a quick second.
I'm only
Monica,
going to pick
welcome to
two
the
here,
show.
like
Good
we
to see ya.
usually do. We're just going to take two.
Sure.
But here's one from India.
Two.
You know, we're kind of
India.
we've had
We
a
have
lot of
question
questions from India. Honestly,
Yeah, we had Road Chuck on not too long ago.
Yeah.
When he came up and was telling us about his job and being a scientist, I think, right in India.
Yes, we had. I'm
Okay.
going to guess I had at least 23 people from India write questions.
Wow.
But here I picked this one from you.
Good
For
him.
you, Arya
Oh, no.
is her name. Arya, I
Arya.
think actually.
Arya.
Arya. Arya.
Okay.
What inspired Frankie to write a book? I am also writing one.
You know, it's really weird. That's a good question. Thanks for the question.
Keep it
by the way. I
clean.
do appreciate it. Yeah, no, well, that's why I have a hat on. Cause I'm thinning at the hairline there. No, great question. If you would have asked me 35 years ago would I ever write a book, I would have been like, I don't even do homework, so no. What inspired me to write a book? Well, when I stopped working in July of 2020, I am that person that I have to be doing something, and I enjoy writing a journal. I learned to journal throughout mental health classes and therapy and counseling and all that to keep a daily journal, which I still do. And I started thinking, my journal, I write how I feel and what I've seen and how I've reacted to certain situations. So I decided to say, why don't I turn this into a book? And it just kind of happened. And day after day, I would commit to writing 3 or 4 pages a night, handwritten. And before you knew it, I had a stack, and it kind of just happened on its own. So to answer your question, how did I decide to write a book? It just kind of happened. If that makes any sense to everybody, hope that answers your question. Good question, though.
Yeah.
Thanks for definitely
This
sending that in. We appreciate
next question here was from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn.
that. Brooklyn.
All right, here we go. It's from Teo. Teo. He
And
says,
this is to
"Hey,
you.
Todd, cool nickname. Yeah, you too, Teo. Teo.
Hey.
You guys are awesome. What are your thoughts on the Buffalo Bills this year?" Oh, that's a great one. Teo, we love the Bills here. Obviously, us being from Buffalo, huge Bills fans.
Oh, yeah.
My thoughts are we're going to win the AFC East. I mean, what else would we think? What else would we want? And we'll definitely see in the AFC championship game. Can we get over the hump? Let's hope so. That's my hopes. That's what I expect this year. How about you, Frank?
Yeah. Well, Tio, let me take a sip of my mocha thick chocolate coffee.
A little Starbucks fan here. Mocha
as you know,
frappe.
I'm pretty decent at, predicting, as I predicted that we would make the AFC East 2 years ago.
And you also predicted, which has come to fruition, that this is the greatest show.
The greatest show. I can't say the greatest show on turf because that's already taken.
No, you can't. But you can
But we
say the
can
greatest
say-
show on Fireside, and we welcome everybody who has
How about
found
the
our show.
greatest show on earth?
There you go.
We are the
Yeah.
greatest show on earth. The Bills. Well, I became a fan around 1986, and that was because my uncle, who is now in heaven, tried to, give me a feeling of having a father. So he bought season tickets for me every year from 1987 to 1993, and we sat in the end zone right above where the players' tunnel was, and we went to all the games. We were at every historic game, just like 800,000 other people, and the stadium only held 76,000 at the time. But as far as my prediction of the Bills this year, with Von Miller coming back healthy, he's already healthy. He'll be ready for training camp, bringing in Leonard Floyd, one of his ex-edge mates, and buffing up the offensive line to have a depth to it, and having Josh Allen, who's going to be back 100% healthy, and a new backfield. I think the Bills are going to do it this year. I say that a lot, though. I do see the Bills going to the Super Bowl this year and winning it. I believe that they have built it the way they should have, and now that we have head coach Sean McDermott calling the defense this year, because Leslie Frazier, who claims to be taking a year off from coaching, I think that was his way of retiring and fading off into the sunset. And I read deeper into that him and Coach McDermott were having disagreements on play calling. So I can imagine there were some questionable times where, me being disabled could have walked up the middle and got 13 yards each play. So there was something missing there. And so I predict the Bills going to the Super Bowl this year and winning it. I really do. I believe that. On the NFC side of the ball, I think the Eagles repeat and go back for a second time.
There you go, T.O. Thanks for the questions. Remember, share the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep in touch. We're here every 2 days a week. We'll see every
Monday, Thursdays. If you see our third screen there, every Monday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's our website, our email, our YouTube channels, and our new Facebook group, Raw Chat, which is we're getting 3-4 new members a day, which is great. Keep joining, and that's just another place between shows for us to, be able to communicate and air out any disagreements or whatever. My goal isn't to make enemies. My goal is to make friends, make acquaintances, and make sense of what is ugly in this world. And the only way to do that is to communicate. And let's face it, T.O., and you said this last show, facts don't care about feelings.
Nope. But I do care about good discussion. And
yeah, me too.
That's what I like.
It's the only way to get things done is to discuss it. There's going to be people that judge me based on the way I behave and I act and what comes out of my mouth, and that's perfectly normal. However, I have a few good friends, you of being one of them, that there were times where I couldn't stand you and I couldn't picture being your friend, okay? But that was because I didn't understand or respect that we all have our right to feelings, So I finally got the time to learn who you are as a person, and that's what I tell people. Give me a chance. Don't take 13 seconds of something I say and judge me for life on that, because there's not one person in this damn world that can sit here and look me in the eyes and say they've never made a mistake or said something that offended somebody. And if anybody ever says that, then they are full of shit. Sorry.
Yeah. And I am a Leo, so to know me is to love me.
Me too. Yeah, and we're two Leos here doing a show that sometimes, ruffles the feathers of people the wrong way, and that's not the intention. We're here to, try to have a good time, get some laughs, talk about what's trending in the news, and what's trending in the news is ugly sometimes. It really is, and especially during election time. And I do promise everybody out there listening, and T.O. and I have had this talk on the back channel, that we're not going to aim for talking politics, okay? Mm-hmm. Politics is not what our show is. Some of the topics that we talk about could be considered political on some level. However, we are not here to discuss politics. We are not going to reveal any of our thoughts on who should be president or whatever, okay? Because I don't want to divide a crowd. I want everyone to get together, and this isn't the place. This isn't CNN. This isn't Fox. This is, Raw Live. Raw Live. Ready,
able, willing, whenever. And that's what we are. So bring your questions in. We love them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and if you have any questions about past shows, this show, or if there's any show suggestions you have for us to use in future shows, let us know. We're all together on this. We're not selfish, and we've been getting so many questions. In fact, after our show tonight, we have an interview with a young lady who is an actress and still she's been in a few movies, and she's trying to break through on podcasting, and we're doing an interview with her to see if she'd be fit to come on our show and do an interview show. So we, we're not, we like to talk to people, get to know them a little bit, and, let them know how we do things here, so we don't offend somebody or catch somebody off guard. I don't know. What do you think about that, Tio?
You're gonna offend somebody wherever you go, and with whatever you say these days. So I don't
I
worry
hate-
about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I already know I'm gonna offend someone. That's what I like to do. You know, get under the skin.
It's not funny. It's not
What do
funny.
you mean? Come
No, I'm
on, there
kidding.
has
It's
to
funny.
some people. There's got to still be people out there that like to do that. Come on, you got to keep people on their toes every now and again, and you
Well,
got to have facts to back it up.
yeah. Well, let me ask you this, right?
Go ahead.
There's comedians out there that have the worst language in the world. They use the most foul language. And one of them is that Matt Rife. If you've seen any of his clips, where his style of comedy is using the audience as his platform. So he'll
Okay.
ask a woman, "How old are you? Or are you married? Whatever," and then he'll just start ripping on her joke wise from there. How come that's allowed, but I can't make jokes? Like I don't get. That's
I'm
where
sure
I
he
kinda
gets
get
heckled.
confused.
I'm sure he gets heckled a lot as well in the
I don't
crowd.
know. He just launched his first world tour, and people are lined
I'd
up.
love to ask him because I'm sure he has. I've seen videos.
Oh, I'm
of,
certain he's gotten heckled, but
oh yeah,
his way of getting through
Well,
the heckle
you
is
can,
heckle
you
back.
should be able to do and say whatever you please. You know what my mom used to say? You know, people aren't big on this anymore, but sticks and stones will break my bones, but names can never hurt me. And I've lived by that my whole life. I say that now, and people are like, "That's crazy. That's mean." What do you mean?
How does that mean?
Why am I going to let what you say to me affect me so much that it ruins the rest of my life? I don't give a damn what you say. Why should I? If it's negative, let it slide right off. I don't care. I don't. Then that's how I've lived, and I'm happy because that I've lived that way. Oh, that's so brash, and you don't have empathy. Empathy for what? This isn't a world that's here to cater to your needs. Okay,
Yeah.
life is hard. It sucks. You have to learn how to
Yeah.
just take it and move on. And that it's a harsh world, and you just have to make the best of it. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. It's not in everybody can't think that way, but
Yeah.
I like it. I don't want to know any other way.
Excuse me. I like to think the same way, where life shouldn't have to be hard. Okay. Is it hard? Yes. Is it tricky sometimes to navigate? Yes. Have I and many other people in this world have had hard times? Sure. Yeah. I've almost been homeless. I lived in my truck for 3 months years ago when I had no money and no place to stay. So I've been in some hard situations, but I didn't let it define me as a person. I just, each day was a different day, and I just kept working my way through it, and to the point where I am now, where I feel at least balanced. Am I 110% happy yet? No, because I haven't reached the pinnacle of my goals. I still have goals. And Tio, I know you can testify to this, but going back 5 years ago, I told you I was going to be on the Dr. Phil show. I was going to write a book. I was going to this and that, and I was going to get a Harley. I got on Dr. Phil not once but 25 times in the virtual audience. I wrote a book, got a Harley. So I have goals, and I keep those goals in the back of my mind, going, if I quit now, I won't reach my goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to do for yourself. And that's great that you figured that out and what you needed to do best for you. That's what it's all about, figuring out what is best for you. Because when you're at your best, you can be the best for somebody else or with somebody else or
We're the
to
best
somebody else.
around.
And we are the best around. Raw Live here
Yeah.
on Fireside YouTube. Check us out. You know, you guys already know. The people who have been with us since the beginning, you already know. But for those that are hopping on here now, thanks for finding us.
Well,
and,
Tio, let's switch gears here, because as I remind you, we swung by your house yesterday, and I actually got your wife on the motorcycle for the first time in her life. She was on a motorcycle. She let me take her around the long block, we called it, and she loved every second of it, and gave your little kiddo a Harley sticker to put on her bike. It was so adorable to see her get all excited and put the sticker on her bike. Any lawn tips for people right now dealing with the high heat and with everything going on here on the East Coast? I know the West Coast is different grass, depending if you're in Arizona. East side. If you're in any of those areas, just keep watering. And is there any other things that you're doing specifically right now at this time?
Right now, I'm holding off on any fertilizer. I would not fertilize while it's hot and temperatures are in the 80s. Don't do that. A lot of people think like, oh, hey, I got to fertilize, it'll turn my lawn green. But no, I would hold off. If you're going to do anything like that, make sure it's an organic fertilizer. But I wouldn't fertilize. I either would just let the grass go completely dormant, it's going to turn brown, and then come back when temperatures are right, or get 1 inch of water on that lawn a week, and that should at least keep most of it alive so you don't look all brown. And if you want to keep it green, like I keep mine green, I have to water quite often. I do cut it
Yeah.
low. So I'm going to guess an average homeowner who cuts their lawn at 3 inches, you'd probably want to get at least an inch or two of water on that lawn a week.
Inch or two. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's your lawn tip.
easy way to get an inch of water. Figure out if you are getting an inch is an empty tuna can. Put it out in your lawn in certain areas. Water for a half an hour. Check that can. If it's to the top, you got an inch, and that's pretty much an easy way.
I always thought it was like if you want to simulate an inch of water is to let your sprinkler run an hour per inch is what I.
It depends because everybody's ground is different. I can't tell one person, hey, you need to water for 15 minutes and you need to water. I don't know. And you don't know. That's why it's good to get that gauge, because some ground is hard and that water will run off
Well, I'm gonna
into
go
a different area.
get
So
a
it's
tuna
really hard to
can.
tell. Yeah, get a couple tuna cans, save them, throw them in the lawn, put
Yeah.
the sprinkler on, see where
Yeah.
your spots are, and boom. Yeah, 1 inch
Yeah.
a week. And that's not a lot of water. It's not.
No.
Okay,
not really.
I would say an hour. You want to gauge a time, I would say an hour. And I would do that early in the morning, 4 or 5 a.m. Don't water in the heat.
All right.
Yep, and that's that. I
Oh,
could go on all day. So please, if you got any
No,
more questions,
just-
send them into Todd's Real Lawn, because I could talk grass all day.
yeah, definitely. But I did want to also share something else too. I all of a sudden got this new hobby because I bought a Harley. Obviously, I had to buy a helmet to go with it. So I designed my helmet, and I
Mhm.
ordered a special machine so I can make one of a kind, trademarked, unique, vinyl stickers in any design people want. And I designed my helmet, and I wanted to show people that I designed my helmet. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll try to.
Dark helmet.
So we got the bills.
in this thing. That thing's awesome. That's awesome. Whenever I hear the word helmet, I think of Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Wow, that's badass. Nice.
I did that all by myself. So if
Holy-
anybody's looking locally here in the Buffalo, New York area who wants a specific design helmet, I don't do spray art or anything like that. It would be with vinyl adhesive, but I'm going to have the ability to, do one of a kind. This, I used an actual Bills emblem and whatever, but
That look cool.
moving forward, if anybody wants a specific design or style and can send me something that I can, print out, I will definitely be more than happy to do helmet designs for people, or at least apply the because it is tricky to get them straight and lined up, and I know the way to do that. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to show people my helmet because it's pretty cool. I've already gotten a lot of
It's gonna
when
get
I'm at a
banned
red
for
light-
showing everyone his helmet.
oh yeah, I know.
Jeepers.
Facebook jail. But
Jeez, talk about jerking.
I'll stop at a red light and people are like, "That's a really cool helmet. It's awesome." Good because you don't see a lot of people's helmets that way. I don't know. I wanted to be different.
I
'cause
don't
I
see
am
a lot of
different.
people's helmets in general.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know you lost me at helmet.
When people ride motorcycles, they wear helmets. Tom.
No, I got it.
So when I
You'll-
would pull up to
you'll-
a red light, people,
No, I know.
you're like,
You're good at working on helmets. I got it.
Well, you should wear one of those helmets, but not for a motorcycle. We won't go
I
there.
only take it off for the show.
Well, because we actually have you remember back in the middle school days where they had those gym mats? We have the floor lined with them here in the studio because T.O. can't sit still. He's got like a
Don't
tick
think we don't
and-
have the same job coach. Okay? Don't act like we don't have.
No, but I had to actually design a strap to strap him in his chair because he moves around. He's all
I'm excited.
goofy. Well, it's a little more than that.
Oh, the
it's
pizza's
almost
here.
Time to wrap it up. The pizza's here. Wow, the time goes by so quick. Any last thoughts, T.O., before we wrap it up here?
No. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the show. I appreciate everyone and all your questions, and I love talking to people off here and on here. everybody have a great rest of the holiday. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. And it was a great
Sure.
holiday. And, you know,
Okay, well, I guess that's
We're
it
a
for
force.
T.O. But to wrap things up, we do appreciate everybody that's been here live in the audience, outside the audience, YouTube, anywhere else that we're being broadcast. We appreciate you being here. We'll be back here Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Stay
live
tuned.
on
The show
Fireside.
is about to
So, and the show is about to begin. As they just said, the Waypot music's a little off. But we'll see you all next time. Thanks for being here.